You know we finally here, right?
Well,
It's Friday then, it's Saturday, Sunday, what? It's Friday then, it's Saturday, Sunday, what? It's Friday again, it's Saturday, Sunday. Hey, 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 go, go. What? Go, go, go. What? 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 Let's go, let's go. What? 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 Hey, hey, hey. Hey. No, you didn't.
What's up, chat? We will not be doing the dance. We will be enjoying that though. Every time I stream on Friday, you know you're playing with Mufasa. We are in the house. I'm in your house. We've got the house. We're ready to go. We're ready to go. Let's do this, chat. Before I burn up in here, I'm actually going to switch over to a different headset. What's up, everyone? Should have done this before I went live. Yo, let's go. What's up, Alesso? Thank you so much for that Twitch Prime. Appreciate that. Thank you very, very much. And Sochi, what's up? Thank you as well for the Twitch Prime. What's happening, Customs crew? Customs crew in the house. What's happening, everybody? Happy Friday. Oh, yeah. We are ready. Get rid of this. Don't need those there. And I will plug these in. Oh, chat, we've got to shill some things here. Look at this, chat. The Max F shirt. Let's go. So let me see here. I need to fix one thing in my setup here for the evening before we get started. And then we're gonna jump right into it. Chat, this thing is beautiful. I know you guys, if you guys follow me on Instagram, you've seen a little bit of the teasers. A couple images of those blockers. There we go, confirm that. There we go. The build command should be live. Wanting to trade house, wanting to trade for. You want to trade your house for the house? There we go. There's the house. There's all the info you need on the house to get one of these things, to potentially get one of these things. Oh. What's the story with your house though, Sochi? I mean, what are we talking here? Is this prime real estate? Is this prime real estate? I mean, we might be able to work something out. All right, guys. So let me switch over here. We're just gonna jump straight in. There is my desk. Good. The camera's looking good. The new mouse mat is looking good. This is gonna look pretty sharp with the house. And I've already unboxed this thing and I've shown it. If you've watched my streams in the past, you've seen the house. We had this in a couple of nights ago. How do I do this? Nope, that's not it. There it is. That's the one. The house. Look at the plate design too. So you can see the Bauhaus themed logo coming through on the weight, on the blocker, and then also on the plate. Thing is clean. Very, very clean. USB-C. So this one's a little bit different than the prototype that Cohen built. Take a look at this. We got butt stuff. Butt stuff in the house. My camera shifted a little bit because everything on my desk is crooked now. There we go. That looks about straight now. Boom. Beautiful. Look at that handle. So you've got the handle there, and look at that line. Beautiful. I love that design. Very subtle, very nice. Lewis made my spacebar idea much nicer. I love Lewis. Dale, what's the story there? What's your spacebar idea? I heard giveaway after you're done building. Yeah, giving away something. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe I'll give away something. We'll see. No expectations. Yeah, this swab is pretty shiny. That is true. It's just such a pretty anodization too. Really, really clean. I'm excited to get into it. Okay, so here's the difference between the other prototype that was built before. Instead of the screws being here as well, these have been removed. And so they have machined this and worked this with just 4 mounting points. And so I'm super stoked. Super stoked. Let's go ahead and open it up too. K-screws, correct. This is the HAUS plate. You can tell because it's got, you see the space bar? So the logo is this triangle, square, circle. The cutout for the spacebar switch is your square, and then you have the triangle and circle built into the design of the plate as well. It's an aluminum plate, yep. What's up, Tree Leaf? Good to see you, buddy. Oh, it's an aluminum, yes. An aluminum plate. An OG red-inspired aluminum plate. Dude, they act as flex cutouts. What a meme. Sure. I mean, anything that's a cutout acts as a flex cutout, I guess. I don't think you're gonna see much of a difference in that. What am I doing? I wanted to do, first things first, I wanted to test to see if my hardware is potentially going to fit this case. You guys want to take a look at this thing too? Let's take a look at the internals of it. See what we're working with here. Thanks for the follows, you guys. I appreciate that. For those of you tuning in for the first time here, welcome. I'm assuming you know why you're here, and it's to look at cool keyboard stuff. If you've just happened to stumble across my page on Twitch, run as fast as you can. Escape. Escape before your wallet gets gobbled up by the keyboard overlords. Oof. Is that, Dale, the message you just sent me, is that the plate for the 959? Oh, dude, heck yeah. That's awesome. All right, so we're definitely gonna hold on to these. Definitely gonna hold on to the plate mount screws, but chat, we need to figure it out. Lewis, are you in chat? Are you here? Lewis, can you hear me? Are you here? My dude. I know. It's very late, but I think Lewis was gonna stay up to at least watch a little bit of it with us. I know. I was hoping that I might be able to get a more reasonable time in, but the dad life, not able to do it, making it difficult for me, putting kids to bed and whatnot. Picking kids up from school, that sort of thing. So we've got, as you guys can see, probably a mounting system you've seen once or twice before with the top mount. There's a gummy worm gasket that has been included in this that we can test with for a little bit tonight. I'll install it with the gasket first tonight. And if that gives us issues, I'll do some more in-depth testing myself and just go with top mount for sake of brevity. But there's your plate. Very nice. Very nice aluminum plate. Now look at this. You know how the 910, the blocker just sits in there? Much better design. Ignore the little anodization marks there. Ignore those. As I draw your attention to what I'm telling you to ignore. Being a prototype, we've got a little bit of marking in the middle, but who cares? What up, Bueno? Good to see you, my dude. How are you doing tonight, brother? What I wanted to test real quick before we actually get into the full build too. You know what? We can do this later. I've got a whole bunch of M3 hex screws. I'm gonna try replacing out these little guys, these little minis with an M3. I don't think the M3 is gonna fit. It looks like this is much smaller hardware. I don't think it, as I say, I'm not going to test it now. He continues to test it. Yeah, that's not gonna fit. So it's definitely not an M3. So different mounting system there. I'm gonna put these, with that said, I'm gonna put those in my hardware tray so I don't lose them. Now the front ones might actually be M3. The rear ones are not. The rear ones are tiny. Look, this is kind of interesting. You can see the hardware size difference there. Oh man, we got some degenerates gambling up in here. Roz with the sub. Thank you for the 3 months, my dude. I appreciate that. What's happening, brother? You are just in time. We're just taking a closer look here at the HAUS. I think it's apropos here to compare it to the 910. We've got sitting right above it. You can see the difference in the TGR pink and the HAUS pink. And then you've also got the blocker for fans of a Win keyless blocker. I think with the HAUS layout, what I would do, because right now on this guy, I have backspace, and then I have this guy set to delete, page up, and page down. And this is function. I think what I would do with the HAUS is I would set Control and Alt, then I would set this one to the Windows GUI, then I would set this one to function, and then I would do page up and page down here. And then I would have this function, home and end, and then this would be function, delete. I think that's what I would do with the HAUS. So. Global milkshake, you lost it all. Oh no. Oh no. All your max oofs are gone. What about changing right shift? Not possible, sir. Right shift is, well, I mean, I guess if you, well, hold on. I guess if you don't use right shift, then sure. If you shift with your left shift all day, every day. I use my right shift from time to time. You know, every now and then I'm actually word processing. When I'm word processing, I use right shift a lot. When I'm actually just, you know, entering quick lines of code or whatever, it's mostly left shift all day. But when I'm actually sitting there word processing, actually touch typing properly, you know, I will use the proper shifts. So you know what I mean. All right. Obviously, you don't know what I mean if you're thinking about setting right shift to function. You could absolutely do that. This is the layout you would see. What you see on the 910 is the layout you will see on the HAUS minus the Windows key. So there you go. What do you mean, huh? What do you mean, tree leaf? Are you totally confused by my use of right shift? Do you guys remember that? Do you guys remember this board? Before I, yeah, this is worth it. Let's go in here and let's go to. I think it was actually under my meme folder. Yep, it was under my meme folder. You guys remember this one? Brace yourself, chat. That guy said, "Fuck the right shift key." That guy said, "Fuck my whole right cluster. I don't need any of that shit." The meme checks out. The meme checks out. Low poly HHKB layout. Oh, nice, Avis. Cool, man. The KY01. I don't think I've even heard of that board yet. But heck yeah, send it over to me. Quick 910 sound test. I can do a quick sound test on the 910. No harm in that. And turn that off. I'm gonna type your line of text. I'm gonna say quick 910 sound test, question mark. And see if I was to do sounds good, right shift, sounds good. Sounds good, mate. Sounds good. You see how I do that? Right shift. Sounds good, exclamation point. Boom, boom. Hit that pinky with the pinky to pinky. All right. right, enough of that. You're that against the right shift, huh? Treeleaf, am I about to lose a viewer for my use of the right shift key? All right, let's get into it. Let's get into it here. Here are the switches for tonight. These switches are total memes, chat. Total memes. These are new old stock Vint Browns, harvested from a new old stock Wise keyboard. These are the bum wipe stems, and a 68 gram, what did I say? I thought I said blacks, vintage blacks. Oh, vintage blacks. Yeah, they're vintage black housings, excuse me. So yeah, new old stock vintage black housings from a Wise terminal board with the UHMWPE stem, 205G0, light coating on the stem and housing rails, and then a mix of paraffin oil, Victorinox, Swiss Army knife oil, and LSD oil on the springs. It's just, and when I say a mix, I have like a bag. This is my bag. This is what I bag lubed in today. And I just save the bag. So when I go to lube springs next, I'll just add some more oils to it. Maybe I'll add some like 106 and some more like LSD and just throw it in the bag, and I throw all the springs in there, shake them up. And then, yeah, these 68 gram springs, I think these are pretty nice with the UHMWPE stem. They're so smooth by stock standards with this WPE stem that that having a heavier spring, I think, feels pretty nice. Yeah. So here's the. I don't know if you guys can hear that. Oh, you definitely can't hear it probably with the music. But those should all sound pretty juicy. I cherry-picked these. I picked about 70 of them that felt the nicest. 70 of them after I had lubed about 100 or so. So I cherry-picked the nicest ones. Any of them that had... They're all pretty consistent because they're, you know, new old stock. All the leaves on the bottom housing were really nice and consistent, and those springs are top tier. So, that said, chat, we're going to get into some stabilizer tuning. Oh god. Lost in shipping, aka never leaves my house. I'm so sorry, Lewis. It must have gotten lost. There's that. Do I have wires? I know I have wires. I knew I have wires. Here's wires. There's that. We might need some extra, so there's a couple extra there too. Here's some washers. Stabilizer bag done. Let's grab the lube. Don't forget the lube. Alright, Treeleaf. I will probably catch you after you're done with dinner, I'm assuming. Enjoy your dinner, my dude. 68 gram. I'm still gonna put a 90 gram in one of the space bars. So we'll keep that out. Is that what I did with the Rama? Ooh, yikes. Maybe. We have a replacement for that one. The client is legit driving down from his homestead up in Pennsylvania to have me build it. So he's coming down. He's coming down. It's Atticus. You guys already, if you were watching that stream, you guys already know that. Atticus is my dude. Yeah, I did too. We got it sorted though. Thankfully. I actually, so UPS is the worst in terms of customer support. I'm going to switch over to this camera for a second, because let me tell you guys, with the current shipping situation, people are scared of United States Postal Service, so they're using UPS and FedEx and DHL a lot more than they normally would, and it's causing problems. They are, thank you so much for the tier 1 there, Zuckus. It is totally inundating the systems on their end. They're not used to dealing with that much business, and so this whole thing starts, and one of the first packages I'm going to ship with UPS is the U80. It was actually the first time I've shipped with UPS in like almost over a year. Like, I haven't shipped with them in a very, very long time. And I've always just used the United States Postal Service, and we just kind of got a little nervous with like all the political, banter going back and forth, and the Postmaster General with all of his shenanigans. And so we use UPS. The thing is in their possession for 24 hours. I drop it off on a Friday. Half of the package gets delivered on Saturday. This box was 17 by 8. There were two 4-inch by 17-inch packages within. A 15 by 15 cube box arrives with the accessories. Repackaged, it looked like they had taken the label off of the original and slapped it on the new box. Like, absolutely not like kosher. Very, very sus. Very sus. Almost as if somebody like saw the Rama branding on the outside of the box and said, ooh, this thing just happened to split open and I have to repackage it. So, not an ideal thing to have happen. And so, finally, that was in August. Like, we're still waiting for reimbursement. I finally have confirmation that the check has been cut and is sending to me now for the claimed value of the package. Luckily, we claimed a decent amount of money for this thing, but just absolute madness in having to deal with this thing. So anyways, there's my tangent. I'd still go with United States Postal Service these days. UPS and FedEx and these guys are just, I don't think they're keeping up with the demand. There's too much stuff getting lost from their end. I've actually got other stories about UPS. We just don't need to get into it. So anyways, thanks again, Zuckus, for the tier 1. I appreciate that. And hello to you. Let's see here. Yeah, what makes me laugh is that I'll have a package shipped to me from China from KBD fans, and it'll arrive to me faster than I could physically travel to where it got shipped from myself. Like, that's incredible. I'm gonna go grab some more water, chat. I'll be right back. All right, so let's get in some stabilizers tuning. Oh, we got Milk up in chat. What's up, Milk? Got a mirror delivered by FedEx, arrived broken. Ooh. Ooh. Yeah, that's painful. That's painful. Dude, I'm good. I'm good, man. We got the whole crew in here. We got Epsilon keyboards in here too. What's up, chat? Good to see y'all. So we're just getting into some stabilizer tuning. Y'all are on time. You all are perfectly on time for the build here this evening. I'm going to... You know what we're gonna do? We're gonna put the house here. House. House. And then we're gonna move this guy off camera here momentarily. All right, we've got our utensils. We're ready to eat. Cause I'm hungry, chat. Let's go. I'm hungry. All right, we got our cherry 90-gram spring. We're gonna be we're gonna be modding a spacebar with this thing. We've got our C3 stabilizers, N9 color with the black wires. We're blacking that thing out. You know what's up. We got some Victorinox oil for the cherry 90-gram spring, and we've got some 205 for the stabilizers. Let's go. Ooh, nice, Alessa. Grabbing that burrito. A burrito bowl. Ooh, even better. That's what's up. Yeah, I am sitting pretty right now, actually. I actually ate quickly tonight. I had Chick-fil-A. It was nothing too inspired. Nothing too inspired. But it's all good. Sustenance. We are doing, you know what we're probably doing? We're probably going to do some OG die subs on it. We need 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, 4. And then we have, oh, I almost forgot to ask. Lewis, are you here? Can you hear me? I unplugged my keyboard, so I can't type right now. Is Lewis here in chat? Lewis, paging Dr. Lewis. Dr. Lewis? I'm just making sure he wants a 2U backspace. But I'm pretty sure I know the answer to that question. I'm pretty sure I already know the answer to that question. So I tuned these ones up, Milk. I tuned these guys up. These are, if you do the build command, full details are in there, but these are new old stock vintage blacks with the PE stem. It's literally in the name of the video. Shake my head. Lewis fell asleep too. What did Cohen build his with? Let's go with the same build that Cohen did on his. I think I still have it. You know what? I don't have it open, but I have Lewis's Instagram in my history. It's right up near the top. There it is. His house, the blue-gray house, was built with a 2U. So that's what we're doing. We're doing a 2U tonight. 2U is secretly what I want to do anyways. I really don't want to do a split backspace. cherry picked. That's right, with cherries. Cherries and cherry picked PEs. What do I need here? One shift, enter, and backspace, and the space bar. There we go. Yeah, they really shine with a heavier spring, Milk. If you've not done them with a heavier spring, try it. They're nice. Global, thank you so much for tuning in, my dude. I will catch up with you next time. What's up, Stray Chroma? Thank you for the follow. Welcome. Alrighty. And welcome, potential new followers and new viewers. Oh yeah, somebody had asked me where I was located. I can't remember. I think it was Global, actually. I think who just left. I'm in the DC area. I am the Washington DC keyboard meetup guy. I'm the coordinator for the DC keyboard meetup. It does, doesn't it? That pink is so clean. Merseyside Red. Are you also from Nova? It's always great when I like get a shout out in Twitch chat and it's like somebody who knows me and I just don't recognize their Twitch name. Like, for the longest time, I didn't know Bad Chad was Chatty Rick in chat. And so I was just chatting with Chad the whole time. I was like, what the fuck? What's up, Justin? Dude, you're just in time to see it build. Your house is looking lit, my dude. What's up, Daddy-O? How's the sleep schedule? I know, right? It gets better, brother. It gets better. You just got back to work, too. That first week back, going to work, how nice is that? It's like, let me get out of here. Like, I love my kids, but that first week back when they're a newborn, I'm like, I'm ready. I'm like, let's go. Oh yeah, is she ready? Is she ready too? See, my wife was the complete opposite. My wife was like, you know, of course I think she enjoyed getting back to it to an extent, but she probably could have stayed home. I think she would have been totally fine with staying home. Your wife hates me too. Wait, what? Oh, milk. Okay, buddy. Justin, are you getting milk to lube any switches for you for the little Z? Dude, Heine is such a pog. I have all 10 H60 PCBs sitting right here next to me. So we are ready. I think I'm gonna be building like everyone's little Z from this group buy. Yeah, Justin. Justin, Milk, Justin. I didn't know if you liked tuning your switches, Justin. If you don't, send them to Milk for sure. Chad, if you don't know, Milk is our resident switch luber. He comes with the highest marks for quality and attention to detail. This is actually a rare build tonight, one that I've tuned the switches up myself. I don't normally do that for client builds, but this isn't really a client build. I might steal this. Lewis might not ever be getting this back. And so I don't feel as bad tuning it myself. Lewis, if you're watching or if you're watching the VOD, don't worry, I won't steal it. Or will I? Lost in transit. now if it legit gets lost in transit, I'm done for. No one's gonna believe me. No one's gonna believe me. I wish I had my only regret for tonight so far. And this is a future regret. This is future Max is going to have a regret. Is I don't have the GMK KA 2017 set to put on this. I wish I had that. That would look so good with this pink. We did a 910 CE build with it, Lesso. You should absolutely check my Instagram. My Instagram has the photos of the 910 CE that I had dressed in 2017. It actually is a different anodization on the 910 as well, so it looks much closer to the HAUS anodization as opposed to like the darker pink that's on my like 910. My 910 is like a hot pink. The round 1 pink and the round 2 pink, if you will, were very different. Very different pinks. Yeah, how good is that? You know what? The person who had that actually offered me the set. He actually is done with keyboards, or was done with keyboards, all but a couple months ago now at this point. He wanted what he paid for it. The problem is he was just one of those people in the hobby who would pay whatever he needed to pay to get whatever he wanted. And so he just wanted to recoup back what he had spent on it. It was too rich for my blood, long story short. Yeah, someone. Unfortunately I do for you. Unfortunately for you, I'm quite a fan of my hot pink 910. I don't think there's any other hot pink 910s from the first round. No, I take that back actually. I think there was a round 1. I think there was a numbered 910 round 1. I think it was, I even think I remember seeing pictures of it. I even think it was like number 17. I think number 17 out of 23, I think, was a hot pink. Thanks for the follows there, you guys. $70 salves on eBay for 20 bucks and kept them all? Ooh, that's cold-blooded. Yeah, some people just don't know what they have, and they're like, oh, it's an old worthless keyboard, I'll just sell it, and someone picks up a steal. Yeah, you never know. Gotta keep your eyes peeled on eBay for sure. Gotta have a bot set up, because they go too quick. If you don't have a bot, someone else does, and you'll miss out. Because they'll pretty much always be quicker than you. Like a bot to alert you. I would hope the bot wouldn't automatically buy it. There probably are some out there. So people probably have them coded so that as soon as it catches it, it just automatically buys it. That'd be risky though with like vintage stuff on eBay. You'd get somebody putting like salve in there and you'd get like the bad salve set as opposed to the good one. That would be dangerous. A dangerous script to set up. But you could probably set it to like a threshold in price, and so if it was like under a certain amount, you're just like, yeah, whatever. I'll buy it no matter what if it's less than this price. Roll the dice on it. Anyways, yeah, that's a messy subject. Botting. Let's not get on the topic of botting. We're building the keyboard tonight. We're having fun. We're avoiding the drama. It's Friday night. What's up, chat? What should we talk about? Anybody getting to some group buys here that look cool? I haven't purchased anything in a while. I've been actually holding off on purchases for the last couple of weeks. I actually just went to closing on the refinance of my house. So, boomer things. But now that's that done, I might start mixing and mingling again, seeing if I can find something fun. Tuesday is hot. Oh, the K? Yeah, the K is really cool. Those should start coming in here soon. Have you gotten shipping yet on your K, Justin? I know I'm building Justin's K. Stop playing Genshin. Okay, buddy. I'm shameless in my Genshin playing. I have no shame. You think I'm gonna keep it a secret? I don't care. Yo, that's a fun game. Weebin' out or not, that's still a fun game. It's really well done for like a free-to-play single-player game. That's like game of the year right there. Like there is nothing different about that game than there is with like Breath of the Wild. That is basically Breath of the Wild Anime Edition. And even Breath of the Wild had similar animation with Link and Zelda and all that. I mean, you know what I mean? Like, so similar. Yeah, it's fun though. But man, that system of that gacha, ooh, gacha's rough. You gotta have good self-control, or else you'll be spending way more than you ever intended to on a free-to-play game. It's like gambling? Oh, dude, it's so much worse than gambling. Also, Yeffy with the Prime for 7 months. Yeffy, what's up, my dude? Good to see you tonight, brother. I know you're in a little bit of pain, dude. I hate the dentist as well. Chat, I don't want to put your business out there, Yeffy. I won't talk too much on it, but Yeffy had like multiple teeth pulled recently. Like he did the whole wisdom tooth thing. Ooh. It's like, you know, spending a bunch of money to get punched in the face. You know, and I say spending a bunch of money because lol, North American insurance. Pain in the oos. See what I did there? Pain in the oos. Lol. Dad jokes. Oosa. Anyways, though, Yeffy, I hope you're on the up and up, my dude. Dude, you get to hang out, sit on the couch. You know what you can do while you're sitting on the couch? Load up some Genshin, bro. Controller Genshin on the couch. Hit me up, my dude. It's not too late. we can weeb out together. Justin. Nice. Use this as your this time off, Yeffy. Use this as your opportunity to migrate over from the keyboard mouse master race in Apex Legends and start up your career in controller playing. All right, so we've derailed again. Back on topic with keyboards. Who's bought something? Have I seen the Mark 65? Yeah, Yeffy just linked that to me in chat a little bit ago. G Willard. And I say that, I haven't clicked on the link yet. I've been pretty busy today, actually. I need to look at that. What do you think of it, though? Mark 65. Anyone jumping in on that one? Quick question, I just threw some Vince on a hot swap FR4 plate in the Key 65. I've got to say, I don't think I'm a huge fan of Vince on an FR4 plate. Way too muted. Have you tried? I don't think I have. Or if I have, it was kind of like a side-by-side comparison that I did and was like, nah, I don't like it. And I stopped. So I've never built a personal build myself, Yeffy, on FR4 with Vince. I've done only these. My only personal planned build with FR4 is a set of JWK linears. So that's my game plan with FR4. FR4 though, very nice. From my experiences with it to date, very nice. Aluminum plate is the best plate for Vince though, for sure. Yeah, I'll need to check it out, G Willett. You thinking it looks decent? Five degrees is perfect. I can echo that. 5 degrees is a good angle. What are we talking about though? Zero degrees, not bad actually though. Does Mark 65 have, let me look it up here. Let me click the link. Let's just stop talking about it, and for those of you in chat who have not yet seen it, we can all look at it together. Oh yes, yeah, I remember you sent this to me, Yeffy. I did look at this real quick. So here's the Mark 65. Don't make any compromises, fam. Yeah, so it's screw-ons. Is this sandwich? Sandwich? What is it? Gasket mounted plate? Of course. Gasket mount everything these days. Milk, you're not missing much, dude. We're just stabilizer tuning still. Almost done. We are looking at the Mark 65 at the moment, though. Are you going to show me a side angle of what it looks like with the... Oh, so it's a different polycarb add-on? You get this guy right here, and you see how it like bumps it out? It bumps it down a little bit. I don't like that design with it bumping it down. Kind of interesting. I'm going to pass on that one, though. Kudos to them, though, for doing something a little bit different. So, I really like the idea of screw-in feet. Screw-in feet is big brain. And specifically, sandwich mount design with screw-in feet. So similar to your LZFE, if I'm remembering the LZFE correctly, is what I am specifically referring to. That is the way to go. Yeah, cone feet board is big brain, Milk. I'm trying to tell you guys. Cone feet boards. Chat, what do you think? Should I purchase a OTD dark gray edition, the DGE? I have a potential DGE available to me at whatever price they paid for it, Alesso. It's a buddy of mine. He actually messaged me just a minute ago tonight too. Yeah, he's not watching me. He asked me when he could swing by. He needs to swing by the house anyway, so maybe I'll just be like, bring the DGE. Let's go. Yeah, I haven't decided yet. I don't know if he still has it too. He might have moved on. It was a couple weeks ago that he messaged me originally. Wow, this thing got all sticky. I'm gonna need to wash my hands after this chat. This is why I keep this in a different bag. That thing it like leaks. Makes a huge damn mess. Okay, I literally just put the paintbrush away because I'm not thinking. How many drops? You're a funny guy. You're a funny guy. You think I count the drops out, bro? I have no idea. My bag looks like this. And I just put as many effing drops as I feel like I need in there. If it's been a while, if the bag is looking a little dry, I just throw more oil in there. The guy says how many drops? I'm sorry, Yeffy. That's toxic. It's only because I love you. And you're probably loopy on like drug medication right now. It is a moist bag, bro. It is a very moist bag. So yeah, I have no clue. I can tell you I do not do what I'm about to do right now on anything other than the space bar. This is just a 90-gram spring here We paint this guy up pretty much. Get it oiled up in there. It's a Swiss Army knife oil right there. And then we drop this housing right back on top. .90-gram spacebar. And now we will mark it. Mark it with a B, put it in the oven for chat and me. X marks the spot. It's like a fucking treasure map. Let's go. .90-gram goes on the spacebar because it then returns a lot better and feels a lot better. If you've never tried it, give it a shot. Have you ever had a sluggish spacebar? Has it ever felt like the spacebar just isn't returning as poppy as you'd like it? And if you answer yes to that question, then try popping a 90-gram. Try popping a 90-gram spring in there. 90-gram springs is also what the original, or it's not exactly, but it's pretty close to what the original Cherry G80 boards shipped with. All right, check. Give me 1 second. I need to wash my hands. So chat, speaking of keyboards, have you seen who's following the 959? Hello. Any Dale Simps in chat? Yeah, the Dalco 959. Looking so fresh. I don't know when mine gets here, but I'm very excited. I'm hoping the next round of prototypes are done pretty soon. Because I think I'm in, don't quote me on this, I think my prototype is in the next round. We'll see. But yeah, I'm super, that thing is looking like a nice treat. A real nice treat. Yeah, officially went to interest check today. Chat, if you have not yet checked it out, you for sure should. And somebody link the IC. I don't have it on hand right now, and I don't have a keyboard plugged in, so you guys are watching a keyboard stream. The guy's got no keyboard plugged in. All right, so here is the PCB, and here's the gasket mount, chat. So take a look. We got the gummy worm gasket, which we're gonna try with this thing tonight. Yeah, there it is. Chat, do yourself a favor and check out the Dalco Mini. It is based on the Porsche 959. It is looking so fresh. And if you guys like the look of the house, I mean, hand engineering is involved in this project. So, I mean, let's go. Take a look at the house PCB, chat. Okay, so chat, I don't know if this is confirmed final, but this is the official house prototype PCB that I'm working with here tonight. So you can see it's got the Bauhaus logos to the right of my thumb, and then it's got a cutout in the house for the house to the left of my thumb there for camera left. And then this is a Team McLovin project. So it is powered by QMK and via. I always say via. I'm in a real bad habit of doing that. It is a pretty standard 1.6. Look at that focus. Hell yeah, camera. Camera is fucking pog in chat right now. Let's go. Look at that focus there. Yeah, normally my lens trying to capture, yeah, look at that. That's 2 for 2. Normally it'll focus on my desk. Man, I got the spot. I got the positioning right on it right there. I need to do that every time. Haha, yeah. The red might help. That's true. You can see my honeycomb box light in the corner there too in it. All right, so yeah, this PCB is a 1.6 though. So we're not worried about putting any stickers or anything on it. I think we're okay to proceed with this guy stock as is, and you know, yeah, we'll test and we'll see. But there are little cutouts on it. If it looks like, yeah, it's gonna fit nicely on there. We've got good tolerance there. That's a nice line there. Oh, Chubby's rating. What's up, Chubby's? Good to see you, buddy. Thank you so much and welcome everybody. You guys have got perfect timing. We are just getting into the stabilizer installation. I just need to find some hardware. There it is. Yo, let's get some Chubby's emotes up in chat. Let's go. Yeffy, can you link chat to Chubby's Twitch? Because first of all, Chubby's, what's up, dude? Thank you so much for the raid. And chat, you should be checking out Chubby's. If you're not already, go head on over to his Twitch as well. Yeffy's gonna link it here in a second, hopefully. And yeah, check out Chubby's. Support Chubby's. Chubby's is the king of typing on the East Coast. The king of typing on the East Coast in the house. Chubby's, you hanging out for a bit tonight, or are you moving on? What were you up to this evening? Building anything interesting? Were you doing a build or just hanging out? What was on your agenda for this evening? There it is. Chat. There it is. Head on over to Chubby's TV. Thanks, Yeffy. Dude, Yeffy's moderator of the month goes to Yeffy by default since Justin's been out of commission with a kid. Oh, you gave a friend a haircut tonight? That's funny. On Twitch? Yo, that's great. That's great. Are you good at giving people haircuts? Finally, he wins something that isn't rigged? Oh, with the moderator? Haircut on stream. I actually just got a haircut, so I'm good right now. But next month, Chubbies, come on down. We'll mask up and we'll do a haircut on stream. My hair's pretty easy to cut. I have pretty coarse hair, so there's not much to it. My wife actually cut my hair when we got into it. In all the hairdressers and not the hairdressers, but all the barbershops closing down at the beginning of COVID, and so Yeah, so I had her cut my hair once. She was so scared. Lydia, have a great night. Take care. Yeah, my wife was so nervous. And I was like, she's like, oh, you're such a perfectionist with your hair. I'm not really. And so she was nervous to mess it up. I was like, I don't care. If it gets bad, we'll just buzz cut it. And you can't mess up a buzz cut. At least I wouldn't think. It would take quite a talent to mess up a buzz cut. Yeah, give me just 1 second here, Prince Navy. I'll show you guys another peek at it here. I know it's tough with my chat, but that's actually the case right there. I will show you the top case as well, though, in just a moment. It's just sitting right here next to me. Give me just a second. You got a bongo win? Oh. You got a bongo win. Nice. Is that key lime? Which one is that? There's the top case right there, chat. That's a 1 of 1? Damn, dude. That's definitely rigged. He slept with Liam. That's funny. Chat, stop. Lol. Alright, Milk. I'll talk to you soon, brother. Have a great night. Also, I think I replied back to you. Yeah, don't sticker those round 1 tangies. You already know that. You got that. I have full faith, man. Anything I ever send you, you know what I want. It's exactly what you would do with it. Just tune it up exactly how you would. Does HAUS have ISO support? Ah, it does not. I was curious, because Lewis is based in the UK. I was curious if he was going to have ISO support. He might, but he does not have ISO support on this PCB, or this plate. The PCB has it. The plate does not. Oh, does he, George? Okay, well, there we go. That answers that then. But yeah, the plate for tonight is fixed with ISO or with ANSI layout. Yeah, buddy. Sounds good, Milk. Have a great night, dude. I'll catch up with you later. What time is it? 10:20. So I am probably going to top mount tonight. We might do a little bit of testing with the gasket mount first, just to see. But Lewis asked me to test with the gasket, and so chat, if you feel okay bearing with me here for a minute, we'll try it with the gummy mount first. You say it shouldn't. I don't know for or not if it shouldn't. We've not tried. And I'm using screw-in stabilizers, so that might have an issue with the gummy mount, unless there's a cutout for it in the case. So we'll see. Sometimes with a gummy mount, you have to use PCB mount. And I don't think I want to use one of the. Let me see here. It might, because there looks to be some room in there. So it might actually, a gummy mount might actually work on this. We'll see. thought it was mentioned on Lewis's Discord that it wouldn't work with screw-ins on the actual public units. So yeah, and I don't know if there's any differences between what we're working with and the public buy. So, you know, odds are we're gonna end up mounting this with the top mount system. Now, I actually do a couple of things depending upon the tolerances within the case. I've been known to just use a shelf liner and just mount with just the liner pushing the case up. So yeah, a gummy mount might actually work here because there is room. There is room on the top. I don't know if there'd be room in the bottom. We'll see. We'll test with it real quick. It'll take us 2 seconds to test with it. I'd prefer to keep with the screw in though, over the snap in at this point. All right, let's go over to our plate now. Oh, and you know what I didn't do yet, chat? This was not a big brain move. Let me test the PCB real quick too. Oh, what am I doing? Setting up the device. Okay, that's a good sign. Okay, the device is set up and ready to go. And let's see if it is set up and ready to go. All right, Chubies, take care, brother. Thanks again for the raid tonight, my dude. I'll catch up with you next time. We should get together sometime and play Among Us. I know that's a pretty trendy, popular thing at the moment. Yeah, it'd be fun to play that. I think I've seen you playing that game before. Jump in there and play around, or two with some keyboard friends. That game has people going at each other's throats so quickly. It's so funny. The first time I ever played it was actually with Pudsey and a whole bunch of local buddies of mine. And so Pudsey didn't know too many of them, but he knew a lot more about the game. And so Pudsey was probably the most well-versed player in the game. And I had literally no idea what was happening. And I actually got the imposter. I rolled the role of imposter. I think we played we played many games. And I think I had the imposter role like 3 or 4 times that night. And so I was able to feign like an idiot the first couple of times, and oh, it was so funny when I would have like buddies of mine like who I knew were not the imposter, obviously being the imposter, and getting them kicked out, getting them voted out. Oh, so good. As they're getting like kicked out of the boat, you know, or out of the spaceship, and they're like flying away, and they're like in voice chat before they mute themselves. They're like, "You'll regret this day." Yeah, it was literally insane. Literally insane. Hey, Pixel Gamer, what's happening? Good to see you. Any thoughts on this set? Oh, is this the dark? Is this the swag Sue? This is the swag Sue, the black with purple. I didn't even open it up yet, but I know what that link is. Yeffy, that's worth your consideration. Doll Sue. Oh, I fucking love Doll Sue. I am. How old am I? I am going to be 34 on November 2nd. What's the best sounding board you've ever typed on? I mean, mean, that's all preference. Probably the Corsa. Probably the Corsa. Yep, I'm 30. I'm 33 years young at the moment, and yeah, I've got the wife and 2 kids. So not only am I wifed up, but I got 2 youngins running around. Haha, your Polaris was damn good though. That's true, Justin. Wow, you look great for your age. Oh man, I've never felt so old. Wow. Hey, that's a compliment. I'll take it. I mean, it's not like I was pushing the kids out. I don't have. Yeah, that doesn't have anything to do with me. Thanks, Shrino. It's kind of like a backhanded compliment, kind of. Yep. I should change my keyboard title to Boomer Builds House Prototype. Oh, Clack. Is that Clack? Is that Clack Factory that just followed me? Do we have a celebrity in chat? I'm like joking about it. Watch it be actually Clack. I'd die. Any Clack skulls available? Sir or ma'am? Nobody knows who Clack. That's a fun topic to talk about. Chat, are you into artisan keycaps at all? Have you heard of the Clack skull? The Clack skull by K3KC. New people in the hobby probably think that's where it's from. You know? What's going on, Jake? Fire away, my dude. That's such a fun topic, though, George. So chat, if you don't know about the artisan community yet, don't feel bad. It took me a long time to get into it, too. I've been into keyboards since 2015. I did not get into artisan collecting until like 2018, late 2018 or 2019. It's like, it was like low on my list of priorities. I would see some things that would catch my eye and I'd be like, oh, that's cool. But then I would see the price tag and I'd be like, oh, it's not that cool. Artisans are very expensive. Well, they can be. They can be if you hunt things like Clack, for example. And the Clack skull is a pretty basic cap here. Let me show you a Clack skull. Here's one. Here's a Clack skull. So it's pretty close to like a blank mold with just a skull on the top. This one's actually a Topra cap. But yeah, it is funny, that collector. And so I'm not just going off on a tangent. When Clack subscribed, or Clack followed me, it made me think it'd be funny if that was actually him. It's the guy who made those went by the name Clack Factory. Oh, nice. Yeah, Jake. I don't think we've connected before. That is certainly something I could be interested in. And yeah, no, I mean, I wouldn't say that comes off as self-promotion, really. But yeah, I could definitely. I've been wanting to like expand on some more graphics and video effects, like specifically getting like a start. Like, this is probably low-hanging fruit for you, and you'd be like, "Oh, that's not challenging or interesting at all." But I need to get a new starting screen on Twitch, The one I have is like so terribly stitched together, like I Frankensteined it together myself. And so yeah, I could definitely use a professional hand, long story short, in adding some more graphics to my equipment, or to my media accounts. I'd love to work with you, man. Yeah, send me a DM on Discord and some examples of your work. Yeah, very cool. So I've worked with and I'm working with the Key Company and C3. Very cool, man. Absolutely. Yeah, definitely reach out. Thank you for hitting me up here. Okay. All right, let's go ahead and get our space bar in here and the other stabilized keys. We're gonna test our stabilizers here real quick, chat, and then pending those pass the sound test for us, we'll get the rest of the switches in here and start building. If you guys are checking in here, you're at a perfect time. We are just about to start soldering, and you guys have not missed it yet. You guys have not missed it yet. We are still going at it with this house build tonight. Thanks for tuning in, George. Have a wonderful evening, my dude. We'll catch you next time. What up, Bueno? Welcome back, dude. Oh yes, the most exciting of soldering. Make you want to burn your eyes out. It's so exciting. It's too much going on, right? It's just like light strobing at you. It's like all over the place. All right, I need to move that over. My headset is. All right, let's see what this sounds like. I think that's closer to what it'll sound like when it's actually built, when I hold the plate down. That stabilizer hitting the top of the plate? Wonder if that wire's hitting the top of the plate, if that's what that is. It's pretty close. I think it's good. I think we're good here. Nice, Jake. Thanks much, buddy. I'll talk with you soon on that for sure. Catch up with you and those DMs after streaming tonight. Oh, now there's a subscription notification. Let me see if I can turn that off. Properties. That's because what that is, chat. That is somebody subscribing to me on YouTube. And I can't turn that off. Like, I don't know how to turn that off. I don't know why it does that. Donations, merch, no. Subscriptions, no. There was a spot where I saw that. I don't know where it is now. It's not there. I can't find that little zombie alert. I've tried to turn that off. So Drazka, that's definitely a different TKL. The Rama U80 and the Jaguar are two very different keyboards. And the U80 can sound hollow. I didn't have as much of a hollow experience with it because silent switches were used on it, so I didn't have much reverberation in that build. My Friday's going nice. You cry too much? How's yours? Have you tried the lull stacks method of holding one side down, mod halfway, and then tapping on the other side? Where you hold one side down of the mod? Where you hold like one side, like you hold the PCB down and then tap on the other side? Like that? Oh yeah. So that's I kind of hold it like multiple different sides just to make sure it's sounding okay. Yo, Tyson, thank you so much for the raid, dude. Welcome everybody. Thank you. Welcome everybody from Tyson's channel. We are building a house tonight. You guys can see the house right there. If y'all are interested in taking a peek, a little sneak peek, I can show you guys the top case as well here in a second. Give me just a moment though. I'm actually wanting to check something here real quick. Boom, boom, boom. You guys see the bongo on sale tonight? Not on sale. Raffle. The raffle for the bongo. The necropolis. I wrote a funny message to Liam on that one. Hopefully that'll get me in his good graces. Hopefully that'll get me a dub. Oh, you hold the mod halfway down and then tap on the other? What is that? Like that? What does that do? Hold the mod halfway down on one side and then tap on the other. What is that? You know, I can't. Does that make it so like if there's any rattle, you hear that instead of like the switch? That's kind of cool. These switches are 3-pin. These are from a Wise terminal board. They didn't have 5-pin. That's kind of cool, Celtics. I like that. Lulz is such a good guy. We like Lulz. Lulz might be tuning in tonight at some point too. I think he was. I think he was saying on Instagram. He messaged me. Said he was gonna be here. We'll see. In your Key 65 with the T1 switches, they sound great, but they sound moist. Not lube, just like water? That board was tuned up by Yeffy. And so you can tell him to stop skeeting in his switches. Yeffy, what's up, dude? You sending me some moist switches, bro. Yeah, those were tuned up with 205s, 205G0 tuned T1s. So, what's up, Sam? Good to see you, buddy. Oh, that was a Lucard that tuned those? Okay, my mistake. I thought you tuned those ones. Yeffy, go to sleep. Yeffy, are you in pain right now? Dude, don't stay up on my account. I love you, buddy. If you're in pain, go to sleep, my dude. We both know Justin's not sleeping. Oh, you've slept all day. Well, there you go. That's a big brain move right there. You were ready. You were ready for the build tonight, so you slept all day. I love how these end up looking like clears. I love the look of clear switches. Look how good this looks, chat. Excuse the beater caps. I think we're gonna be putting. I wish I had a good short shift for OG NCR, but I think we're gonna put an OG NCR set on this. I think that's what we're going with for the keycaps, because that's gonna sound so good. Do I have enough switches? I might need to tune some more switches too, chat. I had a couple more reserves here that we can grab if needed. Oh no, I need 2 more switches. Fear not, I've got the reserves. Here they are. Oh man, I love it, chat. A plate that's fixed. I love it. Fixed plates are the best plates. That's the 100% big brain move. Fix all the plates. Fix them all. Alright, chat. That should be it. And as promised, for those of y'all who are just tuning in a little bit late this evening, here is the top of the house. Obviously, we will not be using red keycaps. House is win keyless. Yep, sure is, Jake. We got Jake Reps and Jake MMC. You guys need to enter the Thunderdome and fight to the death. The red plate with the pink case? Yeah, isn't it? It's pretty cool. It's gonna look so good with some OG caps on it. Ooh, it's gonna look juicy. So good. So lit. So lit. Alright. Let's put a couple more caps on here just to make sure things go in straight. Yo, Kimchi with the 4 months. Thank you, sir. What's up, my dude? Good to see you in chat. As always. Chat, if you don't know already, if you guys are new to keyboards and don't know who Kimchi Jody Boy is, he is another fellow keyboard streamer, like myself and others. You should absolutely be following him. Absolutely. Boom. Boom. There it is. There it is. Alright, I'm dressing it up just like that. That's my story. I'm sticking to it. We shouldn't need any other keycaps. Making sure it's straight. Everything should be straight now. Yo, Jed. Thank you very much for the tier 1 there. I appreciate that. Jed Jr. Learned today that building on a half plate is not fun. Bunch of my switches are crooked. That'll happen. That'll happen. Try building with no plate. Now that's keyboard training. That's like enter into the octagon. It's time for some keyboard training. Yeah, the easiest thing to do when you're building there is to just have switches with keycaps on it. Just have a set of keycaps ready to go. Blanks are kind of nice in that way. These are not the right profile on these ones, by the way. That's okay though. And that way you can just make sure everything goes in straight as you build it. All right, so let's get a quick check here. Make sure all of our switch pins are good and I didn't crunch anything. I think we're mostly good. I crunched this one. As he says that, he's crunched one. One has been crunched. Win keyless, the only correct layout. Unless you're on a 60%, in which case standard is the only correct layout. Standard 60 is just so good. I had a Win keyless QXP though, and that was pretty cool. The Win keyless QXP was pretty neat. I crunched another one on that row. Is that the only one though? So these got the ones that we're looking at here got crunched, I think, when there's two more that I got crunched. There's one on this row. Where'd it go? Here. They got crunched, I think, when I originally installed the plate. And I think this one's crunched too. Yep. There we go. Hopefully I don't have any actuation problems with these switches. Vintage, you never know. These are actually new old stock that I've never used before. Wait, is Dale here? I know Dale was here earlier. I don't think he's here right now, Kimchi. Yeah, we linked the mini IC earlier in the stream as well. Yeah, that thing is very nice. I've got one of those coming, I think, in the next round. So I'm hoping that'll be on my desk here in the next month or two. What are you going to do with the stems? I don't know. I just have a whole desk drawer of random shenanigans, and so I might do something with them at some point, or they might just sit there. I haven't decided yet. Such is life for the enthusiast. I have way too many of these damn things. You'll report me to the government. Yikes. I will do my utmost to stream it when you are not at work. You will have to message me and be like, nope, that night doesn't work for me. My schedule revolves around you, clearly, Kimchi. All right, let's see here. Yeah, that'll be a fun build, though. That'll be a real fun build. That's true, though. Which government? I mean, you report me to some governments I just might not care about, you know? Depends on who. I might just say, go ahead, bro. I don't plan on going there ever. The bum wipe stems get rid of scratchiness with NOS Vince. Well, I mean, they're just so absurdly smooth. Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't say NOS Vince are scratchy by stock standards. You know, I'd say you can probably get a pretty good result out of them stock, but putting the bum wipes in them just makes them total meme. And I had this bag of 68 gram springs that I wanted to use, because normally that's too heavy for me, but the 68 gram spring with the PE stem is actually very nice because it's so damn smooth, and the switch goes down so easy that the PE stems and a heavier spring are actually a good move. All right, there's that. Okay, chat, we're just about ready to start soldering. Here in a second, I'm gonna turn my fan on. Hopefully I don't lose my microphone. Let's see if we're having a scuffed stream tonight, Yeffy. If I lose my microphone, I'll be back with it in 2 minutes or so. I need to let 48 volt power drain and reset my audio controller here if I lose it. We'll see. Hopefully not. Let's turn the fan on and see what we get. Test, test. All right, we're good. Camera looks good still. We're not having a scuffed stream tonight, apparently. Okay. All right, let me do a little RTX voice action here. Go over here. That's exactly right, Sam. That's exactly right. That's a great way of describing them. I would say that they are close to a nice batch of retools. I'd say like the nicest retools you can get are like between like a 6 and 7 out of 10, but you put that PE stem in them and that's smooth. That's smooth, baby. That's so smooth. All right, scuffed stream is no longer scuffed. Cool, RTX voice is now on. And now you guys shouldn't hear the fan. All right, let's get a zoom in here. All right, chat. It changes my voice so much. Oh shoot, I need to go back and listen. I thought RTX voice was doing a pretty good job on the voice suppression though. Like it doesn't sound too bad. Like I definitely, you can see why I turn it off when I am not having the fan on, but it's so good when the fan's on. It just knocks out all of that noise. There is shrinkage and warpage on the poles of the UHM navies, which is inherent to the material but it's not noticeable because it's so smooth. Interesting. Kind of sounds like a top mic with no background audio. Oh god, does it sound that bad? I've been listening to it in the past and I thought it sounded okay. Well, it's just while we're soldering here. And I think it's better having it on without the fan noise than it is with having it off. Yeah, so that'll happen. Anytime you have noise suppression on, that'll definitely happen. And noise suppression is turned up to the nth degree on this one. Sounds like your nose is stuffy. My nose just might be stuffy. All right, that's all I did. RTX voice giving me a case of Corona. Ah, there we go, Jake. A fellow audiophile in the house. What kind of headphones are you rocking? Yeah, this fan right here is on full blast. And the fan is right here right below my finger, and my microphone is right there. And so I know it's off. I know it's off screen. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, so anyways, we're leaving it on for now. And enjoy the fanless noise of my underwater voice, my underwater nasally voice. Enjoy that. Don't worry, I'll turn RTX voice off as soon as we're done. Oh, you have some Sennheiser 800s on? Oof. 800S. Did you get the Sennheiser amp to power those things, or are you using something different? It just adds to the excitement of soldering. Oh yeah, because it's so exciting. We are going to do the Woden method for this entire top row here. Chat, if you are new to keyboard streams, if you've never seen someone solder keyboards before, I'm going to go over a couple of tips with you here real quick. A little bit of learning time, yay! So we solder the 4 corners first on this guy, and because we're using a 3-pin switch here, the 3-pin switch is just the 2 metal pins that go into the PCB, and there's the 3rd larger pin, the black plastic pin right there in the middle. We do not have the 5 pins, which normally are for stabilization on the left and right there of that middle pin. Because we don't have those, I'm using a method dubbed the Woden method by many in the keyboard community, where we hit one of the 2 soldered legs on the switch. As you can see, I'm going down this entire top row. I'm only hitting one of these joints on every single one of these switches. I am now that I've done the entire top row, I'm going to go back and I'm going to show you real quick first. You see how there's a little bit of separation between the bottom of the switch and the top of the PCB there? Look at it in between. What I'm going to do is I'm going to turn this joint molten. I'm going to push on this switch here with my finger as it's molten, and then I'm going to take the iron back off the joint so that it returns back to a solidified state, thus holding this switch securely onto the PCB. I'm going to do that for this entire row. So I turn the switch molten, I push with the switch, I take my finger off, boom, 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 good to go. Rinse, repeat for the entire top row. That's going to get me a really good contact point on every single one of these switches. It's going to set us up for success on this build, basically. We probably won't need to do this method for every single row, but it's definitely good to get started. 800S kind of meme. Dahlman, what's up, brother? Sensei Max F. That's right, man. Welcome to my keyboard building dojo. That's what's up. Hot tip. I should, instead of a hot tip, it should be molten tip. Molten tips with the molten tip. All right, Yeffy. Take care, my dude. Hope you're feeling better, buddy. Meds kicking back in. Nice. There we go. All right, now I don't know if you can see much of a difference between now and what it was at before, but you can see every single switch on the top there is securely held in there. So now that that's done, we can go back and we can hit up the 2nd pin on all those switches we just did. Makes it so much faster than going piecemeal right down the board, you know what I mean? You just do them all at the same time. You do the Woden method on every single one of them, and you do the 2nd pin all at the same time too. It's peak performance. It's what peak performance looks like, chat. You're looking at it right here. I've got the moves to keep this build moving, to keep it alive and thriving. I'm so dumb. This is the worst keyboard commentary ever. I'm in chat. I want to take a quick second here and say, a shout out, I should say, to Hand Engineering. Somebody in chat hit the build command for me. It's been hit a myriad of times throughout the night, but if you are just tuning in, take a look at Hand Engineering's Instagram page, if you would please. There's where you can find, among other places, I believe Lewis, the CEO of Hand Engineering, has got his website linked on his Instagram. So from there, yeah, exactly. Head over to hand.engineering. Yep, exactly. And he's got all of his links there. Perfect. Thanks, Alesso. Appreciate you, dude. So I want to shout him out real quick and say thank you to him for providing this prototype. We are building the HAUS prototype here tonight, courtesy of Lewis's generosity. And so this is a project I think will be very interesting, very, very well made as so far as I can see. The anodization quality on this case is very, very nice. Know that what you are looking at tonight is a prototype, so there may be changes in the final production run of the keyboard, but what I'm looking at and what I see so far is quite nice. So thank you very much to Lewis and Hand Engineering for giving us the opportunity to build this up on stream and show it to you guys out there in the keyboard world. Yeah, the link is cutting off portions of the letters there, so you're gonna have to highlight that thing the old school way and copy paste it there. So someone, if you are in chat still, I know you were talking about building a keyboard with a half plate the other day. You would need to do the Woden method, probably for the entirety of the alphas. And hopefully you've got a good PCB with a good 5-pin set of switches that fit securely in there. That definitely helps on the alphas. But yeah, you just kind of have to take your time there. When you're doing a plateless or a half plate build. This is a Ts80p. Yep, you got it. The Ts80p with the what is it? The D25 tip is what I've got on this thing currently. It's definitely the way to go in my opinion. I'm just checking the switches here, making sure they all look straight from a naked eye here. Is the Ts80p worth it? I certainly think so. I had a Heiko 888 before, and so you're probably asking the wrong guy in terms of a cost perspective. I do so much soldering that having a cheap soldering iron would not make any sense for me at all. And so that's kind of up to you. That's a personal question you have to figure out. I mean, are you soldering once a year? Then the answer to that question is no. It is not worth it. I would get like a $30 Weller soldering iron that you can control the temperature on, and put it in your basement when you're not using it, and bust it out anytime you're building a keyboard, But if you're building regularly, then it's absolutely worth it. I like it a lot more than the 888. Yeah, so I like the 888 because well, I like the Ts80p over the 888 Alesso because it cools down so much faster. The 888 is a old school style soldering iron. I'll give you a little engineering lesson. So these tips are hollow, and so this part obviously is very hot. However, I can swap the tips out just like that with other tips, and I can touch the actual. I mean, obviously I can touch it. I mean, this is heated up to 600 degrees Fahrenheit right now, and so these are just a really nice quality of life tool. I have a couple of other tips. I have like a knife point and a needle point tip on these for this iron, and so changing the tips out is really simple, and it is hollow. These tips are hollow, and so after I unplug this thing and turn it off, this tip will cool off probably in about 5 minutes. Completely cool. Like I could touch the tip with my hand, with my bare hand. The 888 took about 15 to 20 minutes to actually cool off to a point where I could touch it. And it took probably about a half hour to 45 minutes before I could put it back in my desk. And so it's so much faster. So much faster soldering with the Ts80p. And then cleaning my desk up and putting it back away. Plus, you can also see my footprint here. It's just going to this little USB-C cable goes to a and yes, there's a referral link in my blacksmith. This Ts80p cable goes to a little cell phone power brick. To get to the link, look at my webcam. If you go over to the overlay for blacksmith, it's right below my finger, and I have my Amazon Associates account or whatever that links you to it. It should have the Ts80p in there. If it doesn't, let me know. I think I have it in. I was updating the other day. Yeah, it's definitely a nice. Yeah, this is the Ts80p. The TS100 is nice as well. Just a little bit of a different form factor. Like this one looks a little bit different than the TS100 does. TS100 also had 2 different types of power, and it didn't have the power supply included. And so just for ease of my life, I just got the Ts80p because it has the power brick and everything already there. I know the TS100 has like an external power supply too. Like you can use like a battery with that thing. I think you could do the same thing with this, but it actually has like a battery. Like I don't know if I could use like this, for example, like this little cell phone power brick. Like I don't know if I could use this. Like I certainly could try it, but I don't know if that would be enough to power the iron. Is it not in there? Damn it. I thought I had it in there. Yeah, Zebobus. So there's the case there. There's the bottom of it. If you give me a moment, I will show you guys the top case as well. I'm just soldering right now, so we'll be putting it together here in just a couple minutes. I don't want to interrupt my flow soldering. Forgiveness, please. Thanks so much for the 2 months there, Dale. What's happening, bro? I know you've been in and out, my dude. We were talking again about the Mini there a minute ago. Are you using a fume extractor? Yeah, so this fan right here, it's got a little carbon filter on it. It's actually just like a PC fan. You guys see that? It's just like a PC fan that it's got a power cable on it. This was just something I found on Amazon. It was like very, very low profile. Has a very small footprint. And so it's nice and small. Has a nice little like switch on there. I use Kester 6730 or Kester 6337 for my solder. It's what you should be doing too. Either 6040 or 6337. Either is fine, but you should be using a very nice Kester solder. It could cost you about $30-ish or so off Amazon if you are in the United States. Do not buy cheap solder. Kits. If you're looking for tools, for the most part, Zebabus, I have it in my Amazon Blacksmith, which is the overlay on the right side of the screen. Yeah, so the fume extractor is not too expensive there. Yeah, just make sure you're looking at the one that is got the carbon filter on it, though. You want to make sure you have that one, because otherwise it's just a fan then in that instance. Yeah, so the roll should last you, any normal keyboard builder, the roll will last them a lifetime. Dale in the house. Dale in the house, watching me build a house. That's what's up. Oh, Dale, did you work the integration with Lightroom for your pics? Did you use the one click like I showed you or was telling you about? I think we were talking about it, right? The linking your Lightroom account to Flickr is so lit. Such an easy way to just automatically post everything. I can't remember if we were talking about it. I know I was talking about it with somebody just the other day. Oh, so somebody was asking. Here's another quick. I'm interrupting my flow just a little bit. Here's a quick sneak peek before I start the next row. There's the top case, chat. It's just a straight wall. Yep, it's just a normal power adapter for your wall cable plug-in. Oh, we have a half crunched pin here on this guy. I keep putting this away. I should stop putting this away. I've needed it too many times throughout the night. Pin is half crunched here. Let's go back to the observers. I want a house too. You and me both, Rocky. This thing is nice. Thanks, Prince. Appreciate that. Prince Navy. Appreciate that. I'm running in some new old stock Vince in my 1.2 OG. Wonder how much of a difference UHMWPE stems make. I found that they were smoother, but your mileage may vary. You know how Vince work. No batch is the same as another. So these ones that I have, I just did some testing yesterday, and I found that they happened to shine quite nicely with the PE stems, and I put them in originally with a 62 gram spring, which is my go-to. And I felt like they were a little too light with that. And I just so happened to have a bag of 68 gram Cat Weiwei springs that I had not found a use for in quite some time. So this is the perfect opportunity, I feel like, to use these springs. Pat, we are almost there. This is the last full row of switches for the build tonight. The last full row. Have you ever used cherry grays on spacebar? I almost exclusively use cherry grays on spacebars. I think just about every single one of my personal builds is a cherry gray. And any build I do for clients that uses a same switch as what the client's build is using for everything else, I put in a cherry 90 gram spring, which is very close to, if not just about the same, as what comes in a stock cherry gray. And so while this is not a personal build, Prince Navy, this is probably just about as close to a person. Like, I've treated it like a personal build. Like, this is like Lewis and I have been talking, and I basically said, you know, he basically left it up to me what I wanted to put in the keyboard. And so, you know, I kind of took a look at my stock and tested a couple things. And so this is basically as I would have built it if it were for me personally. Now, this build is for sure going to Lewis. I don't know if I'm sending him back the case or not, though, yet. Nah, I mean, that case is pretty beautiful. He'll for sure get the build. But we haven't decided yet if he's getting back the case. Oh, what case? The one that got lost in shipping? That's the same one. We're talking about that same one. It's the future HAUS case, you know, the one in pink that you're looking at right now. And in the future, not too long from now, it's going to get lost in shipping somehow. It's such a weird thing. How'd that happen? Sorry, Lewis. He's never going to send me anything ever again. All right, chat. So since we are almost done here, with the oh, and Licky Rips, thank you so much for the 3 months. I appreciate that. Almost missed that one. So since we are almost done here with the build, let me just show a couple of sponsors. I just want to give a quick shout out to zealpc.net. Thank you so much, ZealPC, for the support over the past year or so. You can find down linked below a referral link to ZealPC. So if you find yourself checking out on their website, it goes a long way to help support the stream if you use my referral link. I joke. Ever since I heard Simon say it, it gives me 69% off my next order. It doesn't, but it does help. I am not a full-time streamer. No, I do this in my in my free time here, and I try and put just about, you know, all the money I get from streaming right back into the setup, into buying keycap sets, into buying giveaways, into buying artisans, into, you know, getting stuff, not artisans, into getting stuff to show off keyboards and keyboard builds, audio equipment, video equipment, that sort of thing. So one way or another, it goes into supporting the stream. I'm a network engineer by trade. And then also we're sponsored by the Key.Company. On the Key.Company, you can find all sorts of things. They are your stop for lube, for stabilizers. The C3 stabilizer we're using tonight. Currently in Group Buy, they're running Infinikey. Do they have 2 Infinikey sets running right now? Is the Dalsu Infinikey set actually live right now, or is it just the Infinikey Comfy? I know Comfy was running when I checked the other day. Am I dated on my Key Company info? Anyways, Thank you to the Key Company. You can find them linked down below. Thank you to all the support. And also, before we move on, we are sponsored by Project Keyboard. Project Keyboard. Do they have a? I'm so bad right now. I'm the worst sponsor shiller ever. I don't know if Project Keyboard is running a group buy right now either. But you should absolutely check the referral link. That's another referral link there. So next time you're checking out at Project Keyboard, use that, and that'll help support the stream as well. Nor, that's right. And Nor is so lit. You guys should be picking up Nor. Nor looks so good. That set is designed by kind of a colleague of mine. There, see, over at Apiary Keyboards designed that one. Really solid looking set. I love that desk mat too, that scattered looking desk mat. Very cool. Very, very cool designs. So yeah, check out and consider GMK Noir on Project Keyboard. That's absolutely right. That's an easy one to remember now. I did get beta. I got beta now. So gotta support the homie Heine when he's running a set. You know this. And then, last but certainly not least, we are also sponsored by MintAutumn.com. I'm just checking over my joints here as we finish the last of the sponsor reel. MintAutumn.com and Jack Static. Jack Static is the founding subscriber of this stream chat. He has shown me so much support over the years now at this point, and you guys should absolutely do the same for him. That is, show him some support. He is I didn't do this entire row. Did I actually push on him? I think I pushed on him, but I didn't. Yeah, I pushed on all of those, but I didn't solder the second pin. I need to solder the second pin on this entire row here. So again, I'm sorry, I'm getting distracted. Jack Static and MintAutumn.com. He is not currently running anything. He's in between buys right now on his website, but join his Discord. The Discord for Mint Autumn is not linked down below, but his website is. Definitely check that out and go to his Discord from his website. Join up in there. That will get you on the notification alert train for all of Jax's upcoming projects. He's got some really cool things. I'm going to be running some commissions with him. He's got a lot of cool stuff up and coming in the very near future that you guys are not going to want to miss. And Jax is just an overall awesome guy. He's about to start shipping Rukia V3, the round 3 of that here soon. And you're not going to want to miss his upcoming projects. How many more solders you got to do? Jake, we are almost done, my dude. We are just finishing up the last of these. I was just checking the board to make sure I hadn't missed anything, and I actually had missed the second pin on this entire row. Must have been chatting too much. I got confused. So I'm done with soldering after this, so long as all the keycaps are in straight. So let's check the mods real quick, specifically caps lock and the 1.5s. As I lose a 1.5 keycap. Everything is looking straight to me. Oh, you're right. Yeah, Shrinam, you're absolutely right. Rukia round 2, excuse me. Yep, you're absolutely right. Yeah, NOE caught it. NOE caught my mistake. Yep, I caught it. I don't know if you caught it before me or after. So Jake, these are, yeah, as the build says. Yep, the build command has got it. All right, so Alesso, we have just unplugged the Ts80p. I will let you know when that tip cools off. Hopefully I don't lose my microphone in here, chat. If we do, I will be right back with the microphone. Again, it'd take me 2 minutes to reset it if we lose it here. Hopefully we didn't lose it. Okay, awesome, we didn't lose it. That fan, despite being on a different surge protector, sometimes it still surges across the circuit, I guess, and it's enough going through 2 different surge protectors to take out my microphone sometimes. Definitely not my favorite thing when that happens. Definitely not. What do I do with all the keyboards I build? Just started a timer. Okay, let me know, Alessa, let me know when it gets to 5 minutes. We'll see if it's cool in 5. What do I do with all the keyboards I build? So most of them are for clients, Jake, that you're seeing here on stream. However, oh man. I think I have like close to 15 myself though. So they sit on a shelf or in a box or, you know, somewhere. I rotate most of them through. Like my personal builds, I rotate. And if I get to the point where like, and I'll take inventory, you know, constantly because they're all on display either behind me or some, you know, or at the office or like, you know, I'm working on them or they're in a box, like, you know, in a Pelican or something. But if I find they're not in the rotation regularly enough, then I start to look at moving them. I try and use my keyboards, and I feel guilty holding onto my keyboards if I'm not using them. Like if I'm not actively having them in my rotation. All my keyboards I'm like super proud of and they're super beautiful, and I just feel guilty holding on to something that I like the looks of so much if I'm not using it regularly. You know, it just feels like a shame holding on to it. So I typically don't flip it. And like when I typically trade my keyboards, but I don't think I've traded a keyboard in probably maybe a year and a half now at this point. Do you still have your first build? I do not. My first build was a 910 CE. And so I have the spirit of my first build right here. But I no longer have that 910 CE. That was the first one I fully built. I had modified a lot of keyboards before then. So it's not like I was like rolling into like a 910 build as my first, but it was technically my first build. Yeah, it was technically my first build. Yeah, so I had a couple of Vipers, I had a couple of Rama boards before that. I had my first custom was a V1 TX 1800. It was built up with like round 2 Zelios, all intact with their wobbly trashness, and it was dressed up with SA Hyperfuse. I thought I had the hottest shit on the face of the planet. SA Hyperfuse and my TX 1800. Because I couldn't lose my numpad. What am I going to do without a numpad? How am I going to press all my numbers? Who was the bigger nerd? Former me or current me? Alright, so this build is complete, chat. Quick peek at the joints. Happy little Christmas trees. Not that you guys really care about that. I'm the only one that nerds out looking at the build when it's done. Seeing all that nice soldering work. All right, should we even mess with the gasket? Let's see here. Let's give it the old college effort. We'll give it a quick 1-2, and if it's a pain in the butt and not fitting, we'll call an audible. We'll call an audible. But let's try it. Since Lewis sent it, let's give it a shot. Look at that without the... Okay, will it go in there? I don't know if it'll go in there because, yeah, because we did the screw in. I don't think it's gonna fit. I think I'm about to call an audible on this right now. Because we did screw in, I don't think the gasket will work. Yeah, the cutout for the, yeah, there's no cutouts. So there's the screw in there, and there's no cutout there in the stabilizer. Yeah, so I mean, I can test it more and try and file that down a little bit so that we can test the gasket, but for right now, it's not going to work. It's this point right here, more so than this, but both of them would need to be filed down a little bit. So, we're doing top mount for tonight. I think Lewis is still kind of deciding what he wants to do. So the one that Cohen built was built with actually with an OG 910 plate. And that had some finish, some tolerance issues in itself, and so I think things are a little open-ended right now. So join Lewis's Discord, join the Hand Engineering Discord, and you'll be able to stay up to date with updates as he makes them. Because yeah, there'll be more on the horizon there, I'm sure. Like I'll file down the stabilizers off stream myself. You guys don't want to watch that. Let's keep the momentum going here, as Dr. D would say. We've gotta keep that momentum going. Can't lose it. And then we'll return to the drawing board on the gummy worm gasket with this build in the very near future for me, and I will post some YouTube content if it ends up working with typing sounds for both the gummy worm and the top mount. Fair enough? Yeah, really no point in burger mounting. And burger mounting can throw off tolerances of the keycaps as well, depending upon how it's built. Like if you don't have the cutouts for it, it can raise your board up a little bit to the point where it doesn't really work. Like Elaine was testing the Jaguar with some, she called it O-ring mount, because she just put an O-ring in between the plate and the top case. She didn't put an O-ring in between, so it wasn't full isolation. What's up, super user? I see you up in chat, dude. What's good? Okay, this is pretty... Tolerances on this are pretty good. I don't think I need to worry about the plate being shifted over one side or another. This looks good. So we can try my toolbox liner mounting method as well at a later date. I can try that to see if that does anything cool with it. But there it is now. And you can just see right through that guy. Look at that, that's kind of cool. On all sides you can see how it's just the PC or the PCB is like, it's so close. That's so cool. Look at how close the joints are there. That's clean. The ano of the plate is gorgeous. The ano of everything on this thing is gorgeous. For prototype unit, this thing is beautiful. What duck keyboards do you have? Jake, at the moment, not any. I've thought about adding a Blackbird to my arsenal, but I've kind of gone away from those as of late. Let's do this. It's gonna be easier to mount like this, I believe. Shimmy this USB port in here. There we go. And then we'll flip her over. Oh yeah, that's clean. Look at that, chat. No, it's not gonna focus. I'll need to get it on the other one. Oh, Alesso, it's probably been 5 minutes. Yeah, Alesso, it's probably been 5 minutes. So the iron is completely cool. How long was that on the timer? It's been 11. Damn it, we lost track of time. Well, you know how the 888 is. The 888 would still be piping hot. The 888 would have burned the shit out of my finger if I had just tried to touch it. Yeah, okay. Well, you know what? Set an alarm this time. The beauty of this thing is that it heats up and cools down so quickly. I don't care. I'll just start it again. Let's get it back up there. Let's get it back up to 600 degrees. There we go. And it's unplugged. Start your timers. All right, chat. You did not miss too much, Sereno. We're just showing off the build as it's completed now. Look at those spacebar cutouts. How fun is that? A triangle, square, circle. Look at that seam. Look at that prototype match seam. That is clean. Because I colored it black with a permanent marker dodo so that I wouldn't mix it up with the other ones. Yeah, so the one Cohen build had 6 screws. Or no, 8 screws. So without keycaps built up, it is just shy of 12 pounds, or just shy of 4 pounds. 3 pounds, 12 ounces. So not the heaviest of boards, but it's got a nice weight to it. For comparison on weight, I can give you guys, here's my 910 with its double weight. So that's 5 pounds 9 ounces, and that's got both brass and steel on it. So 3 pounds 12 ounces there. Don't let me forget that timer on that iron too, chat. Here is a unicorn. Unicorn is just about the same weight. Unicorn is just a little bit lighter. Someone was asking about all my other boards too. I can go over my personal boards here in a minute. I have a spreadsheet that tracks them. I have a spreadsheet that tracks all my stuff so that I don't forget about it. Where are we at? Are we at 5 minutes yet? We're at 1 minute. We're at 1 minute in. Let's see how hot it is with 1 minute in. It's a little warm. It's a little warm, but it's cool. Like, I mean, I'm doing this right now. Like, I could put this in comfortably. I could put this in my desk drawer right now. So yeah, so that's how quickly that thing cools down. It cools down so fast. So it cools down in sub 5 minutes. Stoked, no, this is not. I am a network engineer by trade. I design data centers for clients. All right, keycap time. All right, chat, we're going OG on this set tonight, which means I have to fill in a short right shift that's going to be a little bit of heresy. But I really want to do NCR on this. I think it'll be worth it. I think it'll be worth it. The blank keycap that I want to put on for the right shift, I think will be okay. I think we'll be able to overlook the blank keycap on the right shift. And this will just look so good and feel so good that we're just gonna go with it. What's up, Daredevil? Good to see you, buddy. You can sound dampen it, and I don't know why people don't want standard layouts. No, I don't, Stoked. No, I don't. I used to travel with a board, but that's just too much of a pain in the butt. I used to travel with an HHKB that was a little bit lighter, but I don't travel with that anymore. Let me find real quick before we get into this. Let me verify that I have that set still. It's like Alright, I just need one. I need a shift, a short shift blank. And this is pretty close. It's not a perfect match to NCR, but this is pretty close to an NCR. It's definitely not a perfect match, unfortunately. That's the only keycap that'll be messed up on this build. So 65% kind of like wrecks you from running a full OG set, but it's okay. Like, if I hadn't mentioned it to you, you probably wouldn't have seen it on stream. But once you see it, you can never unsee it. Oh, not F1. What am I doing? So behold the glory of an OG die subset. So thick. Look how thick these are. Oh, that's gonna sound so thick. Chat. This is gonna sound so thick. And you know we're rocking. Let's do 7, 4, and 1. We've got the proper row 5, bottom row. Three, 6, 9. I'm not about that life. Necked board? As in, like, is that necked? Is that like short for nectar? Nectar board, bruh. These are an OG NCR set of keycaps, Rocky, that I figured would look good on pink. I think I was correct in that assumption. I'm gonna buy KA 2017 so I can dress it on this board. Whatever it takes. Do whatever it takes. Chat, alert the media. I'm on the lookout. Cherry KA 2017. Let them know. Let the masses know your boy Max F is hunting. That red plate though, am I right? Chat, say goodbye. Say goodbye to the red plate. It's about to go bye-bye. Nah, it's gotta be alt. That was almost heresy. Ooh, a little bit of flex in this boy. Very nice. Oh yeah, this is a top mount. Top mount on this guy. All right, chat, you ready to hear it? Are you ready to hear this thing, chat? Ooh, this looks so clean. I've got a lot of sets, Jake. Anything in particular you're looking for? All right, chat, here we go. Hopefully these sound good. Can you see that flex? It's got a nice subtle flex to it. Okay, cool. It's so quiet. The UHMs almost sound silent. Let me see here. Let's see what these sound like. There we go. That lined up right, chat? I got OCD with this thing. Oh joy. There we go. That looks right. Okay. The IEMs are my my 64 audio custom IEMs. All right. RTX voice is not on. Let me see here. It sounds filtered, huh? I don't have any filters on here. Let me see here. Do I have filters on here? Ah, hold on. All right, now let's see. Microphone's too close. I gave you a million typos. There you go. What do you think, chat? Sounds pretty good, yeah? I don't know. I think I like this row. Let's try a GMK set. I was just thinking the same thing. Let's turn the music back on and try a GMK set. The OG die sub might be a little bit too heavy for it. Let's see if we can get something lighter on here and get it to really shine. All right, so let's pink case. What do we want to address on this thing? You know what? Let's just go from one beige to the next, because beige is going to look so good on pink. So I've got a pretty fresh set of KA 1953. So we'll do that. Let's do that real quick. See if ABS sounds a little better. I think the ABS might shine a little bit more with the ABS. I think the die subs with the UHM might have been too much. Might be a little too heavy. You know what I mean? So bear with my OCD here for a moment, chat. I'll get these guys out of here, and we'll be good to rock and roll. I do have Oblivion. I do not have Striker. Do you want to see Oblivion? And we can vote for either KA 1953 or Oblivion. And I'll show you Oblivion. You guys all know what Oblivion looks like, but there it is. Oblivion would work, or we could do 1953. Hey Justin, are you here? Can we put up a, here. I can put up a poll. Poll. Start a poll. Start a poll. Start a poll. Do I actually need to be on Twitch to do this? I honestly would go beige myself. If my opinion matters to anyone, I say go beige. But chat, it's up to you. I leave it up to you, chat. Let's do... How do I start a poll? Where is it? Mod view. Mod actions. Sorry, hold on, chat. Quick action. Oh, I thought I had it on there. There we go. There we go. What keycap set to put on? So what keycaps for HAUS? And you've got KA1953, aka the beige mix master. Boom. Oh, is the G key not working? Brilliant. I didn't test everything and the G key's not working. That's lovely. Or Oblivion. Duration 5 minutes. Boom, start poll. There we go. The poll should be live, chat. That's a semi rip there, chat, that we've got a little bit of a cucking here with this G key. I'll need to fix that at a later date. Hopefully we don't have too many G's. We'll have all sorts of typos then. The poll is up, chat. Decide which one are we going to dress next. Will it be the KA1953, which I was trying to write beige in parentheses, but my G key is not working after soldering this, and so I either missed some solder on the joint, but I think we caught all the joints, and the keys to the left and right of it are working, so I'm more thinking that this vintage housing just came through with a little bit of an issue. So, it's all good. Alright, let me see here. I'm removing all the keycaps with it plugged in too. That's a fail. I'm typing a whole bunch somewhere. Well, so far, you never know. There's still plenty of time. We've still got plenty of time to figure it out. You can always force yourself a dub. You can always use the bits to force yourself a dub if you wanted to. How much do you really want to see Oblivion on that board? Or alternatively, how much do you really want to see KA1953 on there? Oopsie. There's my OCD in full effect. I posted 1 million. What did I do there? Jake gets banned if Oblivion is used. Use all my other 20 alts. Just start coming in here with a bunch of bots. Tempest keycap pullers. Dude, are you the guy behind the artisanal keycap puller? You did show up at the perfect time. As I'm pulling keycaps, either you are the guy behind that, or it's just a random funny occurrence. I've seen those keycap pullers though. I need to get one of those. If you're not the guy who I'm thinking you are, I need to get one of those artisanal keycap pullers myself though. These things are beautiful. It's such a funny thing too. having an artisanal keycap puller. That is you. Ah, nice. Dude, are those for sale? Like, do you have a shop? I've seen those around on other people's streams. Can I ask a noob question? You may. If it is truly noob and a terrible question, though, prepare to be ridiculed. No, you won't. Odds are you will not be ridiculed. We keep it very friendly in here. All right, I'm gonna give it another couple seconds though. It looks like K1953 is winning this one. The vote is almost done. I'm gonna use the bathroom real quick. I'll be right back, chat. All right, K1953 is the winner. Ooh, last batch sold out in 30 minutes. Oh my goodness. Yeah, Tempest, I will absolutely be keeping an eye peeled for the next sale for sure. I would love to get one of those. They're so cool. All right, chat, let's get started. We are rolling with KA1953 on this build. Nice, Kimchi, lucky you, dude. Heck yeah. Yeah, those things are hot, for sure. All right, chat, so you're gonna have to go back and take a listen between this and the OG die sub set that we had it on. I'll give you a good side-by-side comparison of what not to do with UHM. I feel like the sounds were just not there. It felt pretty good, but the sounds were just not there with that last build or with that last dressing. So I would not use OG die subs with UHM stems. Just didn't sound as good. I like to hear more of the character of the switch, and I think it was just too muted between the UHM stem and the very thick die sub. A lot of what we're going to hear here is the keycap sound because these switches are so smooth. They sound a lot more muted. You're over halfway to your 1.2 purchase, huh? Do I have a non-windowed stepped caps lock? I thought I did. Somewhere probably. Not here at the moment though. How does that work, 8-bit? What do you mean you're almost halfway there? Like in raising funds for it? You should be putting more money into Genshin and less money into keyboards. 8-bit. Oh, you're selling the canoe, huh? Nice. Yeah, the ADD is pretty cool. Let's do the shift key here. There we are. And we have another set with the proper bottom row. I wish all GMK embraced row 5. Row 5 is so lit. Row 5 is the way, chat. If you're running a set, for sure, row 5 it. RS so lit. R5 so lit. I think I'm getting an RS. I was talking to Bezo the other day. Have you used one of the R5s, Alesso? Did you get one of those? Ooh, that has a custom Sailor code on the case. Ooh. Yeah, like I would get one. I would get an RS for my personal collection. That's what I'm saying, Raz. It's kind of a cool. It's an angle that I don't see myself using too often, but it's a really cool homage to the LZSE, not LZFE, the LZFE, not SE. Excuse me. We're gonna do the same thing. We're gonna do the crazy. We're gonna do 9/6. What did you guys want from before? 369. 369. Damn near time. There we go. Now I don't have to worry about any shenanigans either with the shift key. Everything matches properly. Okay, chat, let's mute music again and see what it sounds like. I can tell you right off the bat, this is absolutely beautiful. Look how beautiful this thing is. Oof. Okay. Let me take a listen here. Okay, that's off. All right, that's muted there. Pull that over a bit. Okay, chat. Let's see what it listens. Let's see what it sounds like here with ABS caps now. Yeah, I think ABS is the way to go for those UHM stems, for sure. Yeah, group is not good. I can't spell group because the G doesn't work. Let's see if we can find one without a G in it. Does this have a G in it? It does not. We should be able to do this typing test. Oh, there's a G. Large. Wrecked. G is a tough number to not be able to type, or a tough letter to not be able to type. G is a number, yeah. The G is just the just the leaf on the switch is bad, and so I just need to swap in a different switch. Such is life with vintage switches. I'm gonna mess up on right, but that's not too bad. There's two rights. There's two rights that for this typing test are gonna be very wrong. That's okay though. Oh, and the might. Boom. It's no worries, Srinam, as long as you have more. Look at the raw. Look at the raw words per minute and then what I'm actually typing at. I'm not saying that I would be there at 125 without it, but... It just happens, though. Hopefully the batch that you have isn't all messed up. I need to trim my fingernails. Whatever. I think that sounds a whole heck of a lot better. A whole heck of a lot better. Yeah, so we had to do the OGNCR instead. So this is the OGNCR. Instead of doing the OGNCR, we had to do the KA1953 on this guy. So this is the KA1953 that we've got rocking on this thing. Get out of the cable. So this is one of the older Cherry sets that was ran. Is it the same as Classic Retro? I think it's a little different. That light is so bright lately. That light is like too bright. Turn that thing down. Turn that thing down, son. You see that? You can like kind of see between. You can kind of get a little peek at that red plate too, peeking through. The red plate was easier to see with the OG NCR die subs, which is why I was trying to use those at first. But yeah, that looks pretty damn good. Look at that match, chat. So good. Yeah, this is quite a nice pink. I'm loving this thing. All right, chat. Well, this was fun. All right. Yeah, the side profile is juicy. So good. All right, chat. Let me find somebody. Don't go anywhere. Let's find something. 69 viewers. Nice. Let's find somebody to raid. I hope, is Inebriated still streaming? Damn it, Inebriated's done. Inebriated's done for the night. Alright, who else is streaming right now? We've got Teha. But Lord knows Teha needs no raid at this day and age. Let's do. Yeah, Anthony is streaming. We could raid Anthony. Mr. Horologist is. Oh, Tiny's streaming too. What's Tiny doing though? Is Tiny? Oh, Tiny's playing a game. It looks like with Minterly. Yeah, Tiny's playing a game or something. Yeah, we'll do Teha. I haven't rated Nathan. Let's do Teha. Open link in new tab. All right, so guys, thank you so much for tuning in tonight. If you guys have not, I appreciate it if you follow, and I will see you guys next time. I will be building, I think I will be building a Key 65 on Monday. And so, yeah, it's much appreciated you guys stopping by tonight. Hopefully y'all enjoyed the stream, and yeah, I will have typing sounds tests and yeah, my full look here on YouTube of the HAUS build here in just a couple of nights probably. Yeah, we got a Key Cult number 2 coming up. We got a Key 65. We have the Molly, which is about to be shipped to a whole bunch of people here in the next couple of nights, coming out as well. Yeah, Jake, I'll catch up on those DMs. Thank you for sending me that. And yeah, with that said, have a wonderful weekend, everybody. And I will catch up with you guys on Columbus Day. All right, everybody. Later.